Hi everyone, Jesse here with eTrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the Roadmaster stoplight switch with custom fit bracket on our 2022 Ford Bronco. This stoplight switch is going to be essential if you're planning on setting up your Bronco to be flat-toed and you have a supplemental braking system, which is basically mandatory for flat-toeing a Bronco. But the reason you need it is for your indicator light or your wireless monitor for your braking system. That's what allows you to know that everything's functioning properly. You need it on the Bronco because with ours we have an electric brake booster, meaning that there's not going to be a physical brake switch from the factory. So that's essentially what this kit is. It's going to be a brake switch. So it's just a little switch with a plunger. Whenever that plunger is opened up, that's telling your braking system that the brakes are depressed and the indicator light will light up. Really, there's not a lot to it. It's just that switch and then the custom fit bracket, which is designed to work with this Bronco with an automatic transmission. If you have a manual transmission, then there is another bracket that we do have available here at eTrailer. But yeah, that's about it. As far as the installation, it's just a matter of getting up under the dash, which can be kind of difficult. Then you will have to do some wiring to get it all working with your braking system. If it's not something that you're looking to do yourself, maybe you don't have the time, the space, or the tools to do so, feel free to check out our dealer locator. If you are looking to get this installed yourself, then follow along and I'll walk you through the process. If you still have any questions about this component or maybe any of your other flat toe components, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you. Just leave a review or a comment. To give us more space and make it easier to work on our actuator and our stoplight switch, I'm going to pull this panel down. It's just held in by clips. Just work your way around. I've already got most of them disengaged. So let's pop the last few. And it's just going to kind of turn like that. Gives us room to unplug these two plugs. Just push in the pin and pull out. Now we have two push pin fasteners to remove. Let's use a Phillips to pull that center portion out. That should pop out. One there, one over here. And we'll be able to pull this out. There's just some tabs holding it in. Now to get this metal panel out of our way, there's two 8mm bolts. That just lifts up and out. So our stoplight switch will actually be mounted on these two holes right here. So when it sits, it'll rest against the brake pedal and we'll want this fully depressed. Then what happens is when the brake pedal is depressed, that will release and that'll send us the correct signal. So to get it mounted up, I'll pop this wiring harness out of the Christmas tree just because that's kind of in our way. And then once we get it wired up, we'll just use two bolts. If you can see the two holes, you'll notice one's a little bit oval shaped. That'll match up with the oval shape on that. But before we get it mounted up, we'll want to strip these two wires back and then use the butt connectors to splice in the red and the green wire, and it doesn't matter which one goes where. Before we get it mounted up, I'll just explain how you would adjust it. So what we want is this to be fully depressed until we are pushing on the brake pedal or our actuator is pulling the brake pedal. So you just adjust it by backing off this jam nut here. That'll push our plunger farther that way. And once you get it dialed in where you want it, you can just tighten this larger nut down and that'll keep it in place. So once you have your stoplight switch installed and tightened down, we can start working with our wires. The red wire will have to feed through our firewall to the battery to get 12-volt power. And then the green wire will actually connect to our wireless coach link transmitter, which I just installed up here with some double-sided tape. It's just a black box that has two wires coming off of it. So that green wire ties into the red wire, and our white wire coming off of our coach link will tie into the black wire on our G-force controller. Now the red wire that we ran into the engine bay, you will have to tie a fuse holder in, which is not with the kit. It comes with a fuse tap, which you could also use. You would just have to tap into one of the fuses in this fuse box or another one. But I just would rather use this. It's a fuse holder and a 10 amp fuse. Tie that into your red wire, and then we can connect it to our battery. I was using this post for all my other accessories, but it's getting kind of full, so I'll just use the one next to it. It's a 10 millimeter nut. Take that off. Slip your ring terminal on that stud and reinstall the nut. Now that we have our brake light switch wired in, we just need to continue finishing up the rest of our braking system. But otherwise, that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the Roadmaster brake light switch on our 2022 Ford Bronco.